Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick, and with me this week is Slackerchin. Say hello to the people, Slackerchin.
My little portal. I used to wonder what testing could be.
And then a computer tried to kill me. See, that rhyme.
Huh?
That rhyme.
Is that the,
Well, I would have to play the whole thing. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. I only remember the beginning. It was a crossover between the MOP theme song and Portal.
We caught that.
With GLaDOS singing.
See, I said, and then a computer tried to kill me. Because that happened in Portal.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah. Yes. Space.
Okay.
Space.
Also with us this week is GameFace. Say hello to the people, GameFace.
Nursing a newly found addiction to coconut water.
I put the water.
You have bought quite a few of them since you last went to Collins, really. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Was that supposed to be like some kind of like?
Is that a gay joke?
Yeah.
No. I just noticed that's when you started buying a lot of coconut waters. Last time you came home from Collins.
Addiction to coconut water ever since you went to
Collins
last week.
Like your addiction to coconut water started the last time you went to Collins, you know? But that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know, did you have coconut water when you were up there last?
Might have. I don't know.
Can I try some of that?
Yes.
Curious to see what it tastes like.
It's very good, yeah.
Okay. But question.
Space.
Okay. Isn't that like a natural laxative? I'm a little worried if you're like drinking a ton of it.
I had a big one earlier when I was at Collins.
That's what she said.
I had a big one earlier. I looked on the side and it said servings per container 4. So this little one would be my 5th and 6th serving today. And I haven't had to go yet. It is a natural rehydrant. It's like Gatorade.
Tomorrow I'm just gonna get a voice text from you going, E-shape pie! Oh, why did I do it? That's not right! Wow!
That just reminds me of some cake that my aunt bought once, and my brother and I had some of it, and it had the frosting of it had some kind of ingredient in it that was a fucking laxative. So my brother spent a lot of time in the bathroom after that, and you could just hear him like, "Goddamn laxative cake!" It was awesome.
Keep it down.
It was fucking hilarious though, just listening to my brother yell at the cake. He had one piece. It was fucking terrible. One piece.
I don't know, laxative's never. I can eat like a bowl of prunes and just not faze me. However, I'll pop an Adderall and I'll crap 3 times in the first half of my work shift.
But Adderall's supposed to get rid of your gets rid of your desire to eat or something, doesn't it?
It does, and it does. But it also makes your bowels hyperactive.
That's strange. I don't know. John gave me some once, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then I think he bitched about it. I thought that was going to keep him awake, and then he just fell asleep.
I fell asleep. I've fallen asleep on it at least once.
At Chris's house?
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
We were going to a game night. That was out of context.
Yeah, I know.
We were on our way to a game night at Glitch's place, and Joystick here says to me, he says to the guy, he says, you're gonna get there and you're gonna freaking fall asleep because you worked all day, aren't you? It's a good point. And I went right back inside before we even left, and I proceeded to take an Adderall cart and snort it. And we got there, and I think we were playing Fat Princess.
No, we were playing Castle Crashers.
We were playing Castle Crashers, and I'm wired, and my thoughts are all over the place, and then I proceeded to fall asleep sitting up and still have hyperactive thoughts. It was really weird.
I just imagine I hate you, Tim. I just imagine what would your dreams be like if you're falling asleep while having hyperactive thoughts? Be like
digital.
running really fucking fast and shit in your dreams, or what? Do they fly? Do they like fly by in fast motion, or I don't know.
You dream in like 64-bit. It's weird.
So you dream of Shadows of the Empire and GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would suggest not going in there for a while.
Hadn't planned on it, dude. So, yeah. We're drinking Miller Lite.
I'm drinking coconut
Water, yeah.
water. Yeah, I had an episode yesterday, and I decided I'm not going to drink for a month, and now I find myself hooked on another form of laxative.
Well, you did the exact same thing, like, when you stopped drinking for about a month in Cutstown.
Yeah, I started stocking up on O'Doul's. That stuff's expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had O'Doul's. My dad drinks it because he doesn't drink.
Yeah. O'Doul's is so-so. I think there are actually better non-alcoholic beers. I just haven't tried them because they're too expensive.
I know, like, you bring it up and Andrew will be like, well, still, technically, that has some minor little tiny itty-bitty bit of alcohol in it. Shut up, Andrew.
Yeah, well, so do you.
Shut up, Andrew.
I'm sorry, you said Andrew. I can only imagine that Tom would be coming next.
Oh, Tom drinks.
Since when did Tom start drinking, actually?
Doesn't Tom drink?
What?
Oh, wait, yeah, he does. Sorry, I was thinking
You're
of
an
the other
idiot.
thing. Yeah.
Andrew
Hey.
doesn't drink.
There.
Don't make me pull out my soundboard again.
No, we don't need to go through that again. I'm done.
Okay, we only have 4...
I just realized I've never actually used any of the Twilight Sparkle ones. Not just on this podcast, but, like, ever. So I was like, Tara Strong. I was like, Tara Strong is awesome. And she needed...
When she's in other things.
When she's in everything.
Look, he's like...
You okay?
You mentioned ponies, and he's like growling over here about it.
Start foaming at the mouth.
I can feel the seething hatred for you, Tim, coming from Alex.
You know,
it's
one of
like
these
when you
days,
get near an oven
you're
that's
just
been
gonna
on.
Be on the server. You're gonna walk around a corner and see, like, between two mountains, Rainbow Dash's face with the words "Do it, faggot" underneath.
It'd have to be some, like, an insane grin.
Yeah,
Maniacal
exactly.
grin.
Okay, so you guys want to bitch about Capcom some? Because we haven't done that enough.
Well, yeah, because especially because you know what? Capcom's gonna be out of business once Main 6 comes out with their fighting game. Oh yeah. And they're not even selling it.
Somehow I doubt that. Okay, Capcom has announced downloadable content for their game Ashura's Wrath. Are you familiar with Ashura's Wrath?
Nope.
Basically, it's like someone took an anime and turned it into a video game, and that's Ashura's Wrath. It's like this, like, ridiculously, insanely over the top.
That's very vague. Like, do you
That's,
have
they just
any
explained,
idea?
like,
It
100 games.
It even, like...
Do you have any idea how many subgenres
It's
there are
divided
to
into
anime?
21 episodes.
That's like saying they
That's
took...
very anime.
Well, hold on, wait. That's kind of like saying they took music and made it, like, into a video game. What kind of music?
Well, no, it's divided into 21 episodes, and, like, supposedly each episode begins with, like, last time on, and you can skip
okay.
that if you want, and next time on. Just like they do with fucking Dragon Ball Z.
That was more. That was actually an American thing. I think that was.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
I
Sounds
mean,
like they're making fun of
a large
Americans.
part of their market for this game was in the United States, and it's people
Right.
that watched things like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but my imagine is they're having people watch it and they'll have flashbacks and they'll go, ah! Ah!
The Ashura's Wrath is ridiculously over the top, and it's got all that insanely over the top fighting moves and the flying.
Oh my
and-
god. Metal Gear Solid Rising. I'm sorry, Metal Gear Rising now. Revengeance.
Yeah,
And that's now officially worked. The day that trailer came out, like the next day, I'm
They
like,
call it Revengeance? For real?
yes.
I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to someone at work about it who's also a Metal Gear fan, and Octavian, and we're just talking about it. He's like, all of a sudden he goes, I think that's a word now. I'm like, it's not. He's like, it's not even been 24 hours, and I'm pretty sure that's now officially a word because Kojima said so.
You know, I'm just picturing fucking Raiden fighting against the Revengeancers from Metalocalypse. That would be awesome, right?
Oh my god.
Anyway, Ashura's and part of the downloadable content announced was episodes 22, 23, and 24, which they said it is, quote, the true ending of Ashura's Wrath. So basically they're like, here's the game, we'll sell you the ending at a later date. That's basically what they've done with this game. So now Capcom is putting downloadable content as the ending of the game. That sucks. You look dumbfounded by this.
And that, never mind. I understand putting out part of something, a movie, a show, a game, a book, whatever. Even maybe half. Hey, you like it? Pay for the other half. We gave you the first half free to try. Pay for the rest of it.
I would understand it if it was like a sequel, like a continuing story, like the Metal Gear franchise.
But that's kind of like... That's what it's like. No, what it's like is, hey, buy this game. It's awesome. Sweet, we bought it. Wait, where's the ending? Coming out soon. For a low price of fuck you.
Yeah, and is Capcom not paying attention? I mean...
No, they're just like...
Look what's happened with BioWare. BioWare's given the people this ending, and now they're promising downloadable content, which apparently is supposedly going to add to the ending, and fans are backlashing big time against that. Have they not been paying attention?
You know why they continue to do it? Because they realize us, the gamers, the consumers, we're like that stripper who cries on stage or while giving a lap dance. Oh, I'm quitting after tonight. I'll never do it again. This is horrible. Back the next night, doing the same shit.
Well, I think this definitely proves one thing, at least one thing, and that's that Capcom does not give a shit about consumer base. Because its consumer base is bitched every single time they put out some kind of bullshit DLC. Like, they pretty much started with Resident Evil 5, where the multiplayer mode was on the disc, but you had to pay extra to unlock it. You know?
You know, why isn't Anon attack these fuckers?
I don't
think
know.
I've said this before. Why did they attack all of Sony?
They don't
attack these guys.
Because they don't care about anything.
Anonymous is fucking
do.
worthless. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. They're fucking worthless.
They just care about making...
Yeah, the Anonymous
They're not right.
is like a fucking group of trolls, dude. Seriously. They stir the pot, and that's about it. But I hope that this doesn't become a trend with other companies. Like, we'll sell you the ending as downloadable content. And from what I've heard, the current ending of Ashura's Wrath is supposed to be...
Well, here's what I want to know. Are you going to have to pay for the new ending to
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3?
I do not know.
Because that, if they made all the fans pay, it'd be like, no, you fucking planned this the whole time, you pieces of shit. But I understand their reaction to that, though. Especially if you had this trilogy, and throughout the whole trilogy, it was just great until the last moment, all of a sudden.
The last 10 minutes of the last game.
Dude! What do you hear about the airport?
Oh no.
No,
man.
you would not believe how much horse semen gets into the cargo areas of airplanes. Thank you, James. Can I get back to this customer now? Well, it's just, you see, the thing is, I liked the job there.
I heard that was the point where you couldn't get back to your customers anymore because
my brain melted.
That happens to me a lot.
Just quote Crichton at him. Can we take a break, James? It appears my intelligence circuits have melted.
Actually, I can't say the name because I can't say his name, but he stopped working at FedEx, or not FedEx. Someone I worked with going back in the military. I can't say what he's doing, and I can't say why. I can't even say his name. But it would put him at a lot of risk. But anyway, he was a cool guy. He left today. Oh my god. Yeah, he really got annoyed by James. Because one, he's a really intelligent guy. Two, pardon me. He literally had to sit practically next to him. And just every day. Oh, one time at the airport, James, he'd literally be like, James, I don't care. And well, I got out the glow sticks and I was trying to land the plane. Like, he did.
Imagine James D'Angelo trying to land your plane. That's a horrifying thought.
No, actually, he did.
Him, like, throwing one of the glow sticks and, like, yelling something indiscriminately over the engine noise.
No.
And it's like,
he did.
The captain's going, we just got hit by a glow stick.
Okay, no, he wasn't actually anyone who landed the plane. No one really does that except for emergencies. What he did was, he was one of the people who led the planes out and then had to inspect it before it takes off. Basically, the plane does not get the final clearance until he said so, basically. Him and another guy. The one guy said it was okay on his side. He did not let him go because the one fuel hatch was still open. And it potentially could have cost the company anywhere from a couple thousand to tens of thousands of dollars to repair that hatch that had been left open. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, and honestly, like, it was an important job, but it just, honestly, once again, it was just his personality. Everyone got annoyed with it. And
you know what's sad though is with this DLC ending thing, the only way that people are going to get Capcom to stop doing things like this is if they just don't buy it. But 90% of the time, the game that it's DLC for is actually quite good and quite quality because the game Capcom does have a bunch of talented teams and they make good games, you know?
But unfortunately, those talented people have no say over them.
Yeah, I want to support the talented people, I want to support the game, but I don't want to support Capcom screwing me, so how do you go about that, you know?
Well, here's how I look at it. I don't have enough for money or time for all the games I want, so the way I look at it is, there's a shit ton of other games out there that I also want that I could buy instead.
What will happen is you boycott it anyways because it'll hurt it'll hurt Capcom before it hurts the developer.
Right.
The developer gets paid anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if everyone just banded together, bit the bullet, and did it, Capcom would cave fairly quickly.
Call them cave.
Okay. Little piece of sad news.
Not as cool as the Yogg's cave.
The Yogg's cave.
Little piece of sad news. Sony is shutting down Zipper Interactive, who developed the SOCOM franchise for the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, as well as MAG on the PlayStation 3. You hate to see an entire company like this get shut down, and I realize sometimes it happens, or has to happen for one reason or another. This is probably largely due to the fact that sales on SOCOM 4 and MAG were both kind of weak, but
MAG had a good concept, but the
I enjoyed the
physics
game.
were way too old school.
I actually enjoyed MAG. I played it quite a bit, and I thought it was pretty well done. I loved the idea of it. The 256 players divided into teams that are divided into like smaller groups that all have their own leader, almost like a real army, you know, fighting against each other, and nobody had done that before. So it was kind of a cool and unique concept. And is it the best first-person shooter I've ever played, or the best multiplayer first-person shooter I've ever played? No, but I still enjoyed it. But I hate to see, like, there's a lot of people working at Zipper, and I hate to see all of them all their jobs just dry up like that. And I would like on behalf of Press the Action Button Podcast, I would like to wish all of them the best of luck in finding a new job. Hopefully it won't take too long because they are a talented group.
Penis cakes. That's my epithet.
Yes, penis cakes.
I've been saying penis cakes a lot today.
With hamster jelly.
With hamster jelly.
That's how you know you're living.
Have you played any of the SOCOM games or anything?
No, technically I'm still not really into first-person shooters. The only FPSs I would like...
I thought the SOCOM games were more third-person.
I don't know. I never played them.
Those games.
I was into Metal Gear Solid, Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Bad Company 2,
and
Battlefield 3,
paintball,
and paintball.
Paintball.
Creepers.
Yes.
Well, I grew up on first-person shooters. I've said that before, but probably the first game that I remember playing is probably Doom. And then I got myself a Game Boy and I was playing that and having a lot of fun with games on that. Obviously no first-person shooters, but beyond that I grew up playing Quake, Quake 2, Doom 2, Wolfenstein, all that kind of stuff.
That's nice Metal Gear you've got there.
I thought that Wolfenstein was before Doom.
It was, but I played it after I played Doom.
Because I remember Wolfenstein long ass time ago.
Well, Wolfenstein was like 1991, I think. Doom was 93.
Oh my god, my brother bought that on the PlayStation Network. It is so hard simply by the fact that everything looks the freaking same.
What, Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of drawback to the old first-person shooters like that, is they didn't really have the technology and stuff wasn't there to make it not repetitive by today's standards. And so what was once considered great is now considered repetitive, you know?
I guess they could have made it shorter and harder, which was the practice back then, except then I'd probably have to break something.
Anywho,
Space Shuttle.
Space.
What was that? Who said that? Like,
I don't know.
I know it was from Grandma's Boy, but who said that at first the other? I think he was explaining something, and then you just went
talking about something.
No,
was it me?
I was
you?
telling you that you could play my copy of Mass Effect, and you just go Space Shuttle.
It's still funny either way.
I know that because I just listened to it while editing it.
Well, no. We did it on the show, but we did it in my room, like off the show before that.
We were talking about something else.
Okay, that I don't know.
You were talking about something technical based that I really didn't know what the hell you were talking about or really care. And I was just like, at the end, I was just like, Space Shuttle.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you anywhere. I really liked MAG. I didn't get much into... I never played the SOCON games, really. I think my brother played a couple of them and really liked them. But...
Speaking of Space Shuttle...
They were all... they typically were fairly well-reviewed and received games. I know MAG was, like... It wasn't, like, 9s across the board, but it was, like, 8s across the board, which is still pretty good, you know? Review score-wise. So, I'm sure that the people who were working at Zipper Interactive will be able to find a new gig soon enough, and we obviously wish them all the best of luck, and sorry to see you guys go, because Zipper Interactive was a talented group, and it kind of sucks to see Sony potentially losing one of their first-party franchises like that with SOCOM. Although I imagine they'll probably do with SOCOM what they've done with Siphon Filter. You remember Siphon Filter from back in the PlayStation 1?
No, but
I've heard of it.
It sounds like a taxidermy.
Siphon Filter was a action game that came out in the wake of Metal Gear Solid, so it was kind of stealth-based. Third person, you had a large variety of weapons. It was very story-based and stuff like that, as a lot of the action games at the time were.
And I remember people talking about that when I was in middle school.
Yeah, the first Siphon Filter was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. And it had a taser. This was way awesome. It had a taser that it like shot this line of string and attached to the guys or whatever, and then you shocked them continuously until they died and then got set on fire.
Shot the monkey.
They really do have this kind of...
It was awesome. It was awesome, though. I just loved going around and setting people on fire as much as I possibly could. Okay.
Actually, that's a song by Placebo.
I've heard of it. Speaking of space shuttles, Andrew's mom's car.
What, are we turning it into a space shuttle like Top Gear turned a
Reliant Robin into a space shuttle?
Only,
no, but I did try and
where did Top Gear get the money to do that? You know?
What?
BBC.
Top Gear probably just goes up to the BBC and goes, yeah, we want money to do this, and they go, well, your show makes so much goddamn money here.
Hey, can we rent the world?
Can we rent an entire country?
Can we rent the moon?
I love how they just freaking bought, what was it called? The Marauder. Like, we're gonna blow it up with C4. It only costs like $500,000.
Yeah, that thing costs like $200,000.
Chances are they probably tried to make back some of their money by fixing it and then selling it back off. Mostly by, this was the Marauder that Top Gear blew up, and that's probably where...
Yeah, they probably do things like that.
They probably do that a lot. They fix up and sell a lot of the shit they fuck around.
Did you ever see the episode where they got the tractors, like the big fucking tractors that they mow the huge
where they took
fields?
a 1968 Ford Bronco and turned it into a 1968 Ford Bronco.
No, that was Monster Garage.
No, this was they bought those fucking massive tractors that you use to plow huge fields, you know?
Yeah.
And they had of course, just like everything they buy for that show, they had the Stig take it out on the test track, and they're just like sitting there having tea while the Stig takes like 8-9 minutes to go around the track in these tractors.
So speaking of Andrew's mom's car, we tried to saw a piece off of it today.
Why?
Because we hated it. It's this like 1995 Buick Bronco.
And he tried to turn it into a 1995 Buick Bronco with a saw.
A Buico.
Yeah, a Buico.
No, he was just trying to change his battery, and you have to unbolt this bar from a part of the top of the frame to get the battery out, because he was trying to finagle it out. And I took one look at it, and I was like, Andrew, that's a mechanical impossibility. So we got this one bolt off with a pair of vice grips, and then the other bolt wouldn't come off because the vice grips were like flexing under the amount of torque I was putting on it. So then we went over to his friend Amber's house, who had this big toolkit, like bigger than mine, surprisingly. And she's like, well, I don't have a ratchet set, but maybe this would help. And she shows us a freaking adjustable wrench. I was like, that will break our knuckles. So we tried it, and that flexed too. Like, we clamped it down right on the bolt. And she's like, make sure it's really tight. And we proceeded to twist so hard that the teeth, the sides of the wrench spaced apart enough to the point where it wouldn't have turned the bolt anyways. So then I had a little hacksaw, and we were just trying to cut the damn thing off because we were so annoyed. And then I was like, this still sucks. Let's go get a ratchet set.
I just imagine you, like, jumping up onto the car, holding the hood, be like, cop coming by as you go,
The cop did drive past us at one point, and we waved.
That would have been funny if he came by while you were just, like, sawing into an engine.
I'd just be like, hey! Guys?
Okay, a group of researchers at Drexel University decided to see about the security measures put in place on the Xbox 360 and the hard drive. And they hacked into a hard drive that had been formatted and found out that the credit card information of the previous owner of said hard drive was still there. So basically, they're not
So what that
Microsoft
means
is not storing their credit card information on a server anywhere. They're storing it on the hard drive.
Not
and
to
you
mention,
can't get rid of it.
They're storing it on a part of a hard drive that's vital to the operation that it doesn't. They're storing it like in the file sector.
Probably.
Like the file system.
Well,
Microsoft says they are, quote, investigating the matter.
They're investigating. Like they don't know who put that there?
Yeah.
Who put that credit card information on our hard drive?
How did the credit card information on the hard drive that we produce wind up there?
No, they know. They just didn't want to have to pay to have.
They're
servers.
just trying to make themselves sound better by saying we're investigating it.
Right. No, they just wanted to save fucking money. Everyone's like, Sony got hacked. Well, at least what they were doing overall was actually more secure individually.
Yeah.
You're more likely to have someone buy your Xbox off of you off of Craigslist and someone who's going around buying them and then taking the credit card information off of them than someone to actually manage to steal 10 million people's credit cards and use them.
Industrial scanners, like the ones that you might use at work, I don't know. When they trash them, a lot of them have, like, people go dumpster diving for those things because a lot of them save, like, the last 100 pages that they scanned or printed.
Okay, well, are you talking about, like, scanners?
Yeah.
Copiers?
Scanner, copier, fax machine.
Okay. Yeah, well, I can't talk because now I'm an official employee. I can't really talk about it, but let me put it this way. CenturyLink's not exactly just throwing away copying machines.
Well, yeah. Maybe coffee machines, but...
Well, I hope they're not.
No, the only thing they throw away is contractors.
So basically, as it stands right now, if you've sold an Xbox 360 hard drive or an Xbox 360 at any point, someone can get your credit card information relatively easily, and that, boo on you, Microsoft, because that's fucked up. That's really fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Well, there is a way that you can get it off.
But think about this. Nobody knew
Get
that.
it off.
Nobody knew that until this group published it. So that's like a security breach. No.
Yeah, but it's still their fault for leaving it on there. Who's to say others didn't know about this? Just wasn't spreading information.
That's a nice boat sector you've got there. That's
nice
everything you've got there.
You could take a magnet to it or fire. That's how you get it off there.
Fire would be kind of a waste of time.
Alex, it's better that a research group discovers this than a hacker discovers this, right?
It's still better than in 1968.
It's not really a security breach if they report it to the company. You know what Google does?
I thought they just published it.
You know what Google does if you manage to hack their software?
What?
They give you $60,000 and offer you a job. I'm not even joking. They literally have a thing where you can crack Google Chrome, they'll give you a check for $60,000 and usually offer you a job. The last person that did it, they changed it to the 404 screen. Instead came up with Pinkie Pie. Because they managed to crack it and they admitted to it. It was only up for a few hours, so only a few people saw it. But yeah, Brony...
That's a nice 404 screen you've got there.
So a Brony managed to crack Chrome, so he got $60,000.
That's a nice everything you've got.
Would that make them a crony of his? Or vice versa? My mustache is better than your mustache. You have a crustache.
A crustache? What the fuck is a crustache?
I have facial hair all over the place.
I know, but if you didn't have like the chin fluff there, it'd be like, I don't know.
At least I'm not
you look like Farva.
At least I'm not having an identity crisis with my facial hair like yours. You don't know
Officer
if yours is
Rod
a mustache
Farva?
or a goatee.
It's a pro stash.
Officer Rod
okay.
Farva?
Yeah.
Officer Rob Fardum?
Officer
Alright.
Rod Farva. We used to go to Taco Bell, or Taco Cabana actually, and then instead of ordering the normal way, we'd have someone hanging off the back of my friend's station wagon, and Order, and they always imitate Officer Rod Farva and tell them that their name was Officer Rod Farva while they were doing that at the drive-thru. This is Officer Rod Farva. And we always got more water than there were... Well, whatever. We always got more water than there were people because we poured the extra water into the...
into his radiator.
Yeah, yeah, because it had a leaking problem with the water hose.
His radiator had a drinking problem.
This is such a southern story.
This is a really southern story.
We all got
then we like pull around and then we'd all grab it through the window and set it on top of the car.
The wagon, it needed that radiator water.
We usually do something stupid like play hacky sack with ice afterwards.
I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be like
story, bro.
A Kevin Smith type story, and it ended up being like
Kevin Smith's story of when he was a kid is I spit in a condom and left it on top of a fucking ATM machine and got caught by the police because there are cameras inside the ATM machine. That's Kevin Smith. He did that when he was like 15.
And that's a Jersey story for sure. Because you don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've been there. I've spent weekends there. It's not fun.
No.
Yeah, I spent about a week there once.
Do not mess with Jersey. We named them the Garden State, so they paved over everything. They're insane.
Yeah, Jersey sucks.
Jersey sucks.
Yeah, he's talking about like his mom getting a call about it. He spit in a condom and left it on. We have your son in custody right now for spitting in a condom.
His mom was probably going, okay, I'm waiting for this story to get bad. So that happened to my brother once. It was me or
your
my brother.
Your brother spit in a condom?
We're involved. No, this is like kindergarten. We were involved in a food fight, and this teacher like called my mom and was like horror struck. He's like, your son was involved in a food fight this afternoon at lunch at Highland Elementary. If you want to call and discuss this with me, here's my number, my office number. You can call me until 4:30 p.m. My mom's just like,
no.
This is not necessary.
I got detention once because people threw food at me in middle school.
That's gay.
Yeah, it was. And then they're like, then I like flicked. There was one fry that just came up short and like landed right by my fucking lunch, and I went like that, flicked it, and that's what the teacher saw. So then then they said, you were throwing food, and I said, no, I wasn't. And they're like, yeah, you were. I saw you. No, I flicked one fry. So I made them right. He flicked one fry on the fucking thing. And then went home to my mom with this fucking note that says, your son flicked one fry in the cafeteria. And then it gets even better though, because when they started trying to round up all the people that were sitting around me that were also throwing food, because I told them that was going on, they were like, they managed to pull in the one guy at my table that was not participating, and that was it. Fail.
You guys are idiots.
Yeah, basically. So, Yoshinori Ono, the head of Capcom.
That's an awesome name. It's very musical.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, Yoshinori Ono, the head of Capcom's Street Fighter team, suffered what appeared to be a heart attack this week. He was in the hospital for a couple of days. By now, he's at home resting, and he is temporarily stepping down from his job, his position at Capcom, so he can take a while to rest, which means that there's a big in Japan, there's a big upcoming tournament over Street Fighter vs. Tekken. And he's supposed to be there for that, and he's not going to be.
It's my big fat freaking heart.
Yeah, he just had a heart attack.
Well, it didn't say he had a heart attack. He said it appeared to be a heart attack. Yeah, it is vague. It did not say what happened to him. It just said what it appeared to be.
You just take it easy.
Yeah, well, obviously we all wish him a speedy recovery from this, yes.
You know, they should donate all that extra money they're getting off of the content that's on the disc to him. Anyway.
Maybe.
You mean the 12 extra characters that I think they announced this week?
So donate the 12 extra characters to him?
No, there are 12 characters on the disc. The PlayStation. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The PlayStation
Can we not talk
Vita.
about it again? Can we just pretend Alex actually knows what's going on?
I don't know. Can we?
I can save money on mixed nuts by buying separate
I can
nuts
save
and
money
mixing
on
them at
car
home.
insurance by switching to Geico.
I hate Geico.
I know,
hate
so do
Geico
I.
so much.
I had them
Nobody
too.
spends
They're
as
lies.
much on advertising as they do.
They're lies. They're all lies.
I don't know. Maybe Esurance.
I have
No.
I'm saving the most money I ever have on Allstate, except for
Oh yeah.
I had the lowest rate ever with Nationwide. Then they screwed me over with some kind of stupid paperwork, red tape bullshit, and then I got stuck paying an enormous insurance fee with them, and I shouldn't have stayed with them. But now I'm with Allstate. Allstate's on my side. So, wait.
Nice.
I know that's actually
Well, see,
Nationwide, but
although I don't
what's
know 100%
Allstate's?
sure if they would spend more than Esurance, because Esurance always got fucking advertisements going, and Esurance advertisements suck, and they've always sucked.
no, you know what Geico commercials remind me of?
Geico has like 6 different ad campaigns going simultaneously. They have like the caveman, the gecko, the guy,
The weird guy.
the weird guy,
Just
the Hugo
Geico
weaving
can
looking
save you
guy.
this much money in car insurance. Who the fuck are you?
They used to have, well, before he died, they had that one ad with Don LaFontaine,
Oh yeah.
the Inner World guy, and that did so many movie trailers.
Yeah. Well, that was one of their Geico is the only company I've ever seen. Okay, they're not the only company I've ever seen who will run 2 of their own commercials back to back on TV and radio.
Yeah.
I guess a bunch of people must be switching over to Geico, otherwise how the hell would they get so much money to continue their ads? So anyway, yeah, this kind of sucks about Yoshinori Ono. The Street Fighter 4 is supposed to be an extremely good game, you know? And even if they've released 3 versions of it at this point. They've already released 3 versions of that game. That's ridiculous, you know? You know, at some point they're going to be like Hyper HD version of Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. And then
With your mom.
and they're going to add some new features to it when they port it to some other system. That's what they always do. How many times has Street Fighter 2 been re-released at this point?
You know what I would like to be ported to a new system?
Space
Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's coming
I
to the
wanna-
Xbox 360.
No, I want it to go to computer.
What?
Let me clarify. It's a game that runs in Java. Java is not intended to run games. Like, let's put it this way, at where it is now, really, Minecraft should never... There's a lot of protocols it went with that really never should have. One of the major things is it really shouldn't have been developed in Java, but
I can see as like the development. I didn't
Right.
know it was still in Java though.
no, it's still in Java, which is part of the reason why you don't see any kind of like servers actually run by Mojang. People have to set up their own custom server. Only with the best server setup and the highest upload that's available in the world on a server. The most people you can get running on a server at once is 300 people.
Spartans!
Yeah. But,
Why is it run on Java? That baffles me.
yeah.
I mean,
But-
it runs on the original Quake engine. I know that.
Yeah, that's what the game was designed on, but I don't know, but way I look at it is they're not going to change the actual protocols. To make it more efficient the way it really should be, they would literally have to redesign it from the ground up, which is what they had to do for the Xbox version.
That's why it's taking so long for the Xbox version.
Yeah.
It's been more than a year since it was announced.
Yeah. And honestly, what's going to happen eventually is they're going to hit a brick wall in development. And the thing is, there's not going to be really a Minecraft 2 in the sense of sequel.
Well, Notch is
gonna
working on another
continuously-
game right now called Scrolls.
Yeah, I know. It's just going to be... Jeb is actually more working on it than Notch. And it's just going to be continually developed. However, they will hit a brick wall where it'll get to the point where they're going to be like, we need to redesign the game from the ground up. And that's what they're going to do. And they're going to come out with Minecraft 2. And by 2, they mean, well, we had to rebuild the game bottom up.
TOO instead of TWO.
Yeah, something like that.
It's still Minecraft. Well,
it'll still be Minecraft.
It's still Minecraft.
It's
just
reinvented so that they can continue further development within the game.
Yeah, there's some things that I'm not sure why they haven't been added to Minecraft.
You know why?
Like, why can't you build a cannon in Minecraft?
You know why? Because people have to bug them incessantly for fucking ever to get something added to the vanilla. Because, granted, it's actually a company and they do a lot more testing, but there's also a lot of issues with it, and mainly from its sense with that ground level work. Like it being in Java. Just the way the server coding is. For instance, there's a bunch of stuff that should be run on the client side and not on the server side. For instance, the speed the water's going. There's no reason that can't be loaded on the client side. Like, because that takes up actually so much bandwidth. Basically, here's how they looked at it. You know how most games where, like in first-person shooters, where you'll see some people lagging, some people are doing better?
Yeah.
And that sometimes can cause be hectic. Well, the way they basically designed it, they're like, well, if one person's going down, everyone's going down.
So most of it's all the information's in.
Yeah, most of it's running on server side, meaning if the server starts going slow, everyone starts going slow.
So it's all centralized, like it's over centralized.
Yeah, and that's part of the server. But that's not
server.
I can't remember. My brother's running our Start Minecraft server, and I can't remember how many times I've had to call him up and just whine. Server.
So yeah, eventually they will hit a brick wall where they're just going to redesign from the ground. But no, some of the things they added, you have to actually bug them incessantly. Like, honestly,
well, who bugged them incessantly to get an ocelot in the game?
That actually was their idea, because when they did the jungle biomes, they were like, we need to even this out somehow, and they decided that we'll put ocelots in. That sounds like a great idea. I mean, it worked, but, like, for instance, the chat, they finally made the chat so much nicer, easier to use. You can copy and paste. You can see chat histories go up and down.
Oh, and it doesn't run off the page anymore.
Yeah, that too. And oh my god, finally they did something people have been bugging them for since pre-alpha. The fix. And part of how they did that was by hiring on Bucket. So.
Oh. They made mods from BUKKIT.
Yeah.
They made mods for Minecraft as a third party.
Yeah, so what I think you're going to see down the line as development goes is...
ID Software does that.
Because people bug them for stuff.
I think it's id.
I think you're going to see the
something.
most popular mods,
Space
one
mod.
by one, become part of it.
Hi.
Yeah.
Space.
This. I don't know if we'll see the space mod. Only time will tell.
Spod.
But I think there's a possibility that you could end up potentially seeing certain elements, not everything, but certain elements from like Buildcraft or Industrial Craft being added to the game.
I still want to get the vehicle mod. Those army jeeps. Oh, they're so cool. You have to add cylinders to it to make it from a V4 to a V8.
Can you get anything larger than a V8?
I think that's it.
You can't get a V12? How disappointing.
No, you can't get a Merlin.
How disappointing.
But it's a Jeep. They don't come with big stuff. I mean, they do, but they don't come with big stuff.
Maybe you could build a Hummer.
Ah.
Or a Marauder.
Yes.
And just crush everything you come across in Minecraft.
Marauder's only a V8, too.
Use the Marauder to run over with the ocelots.
Use military. I'm not authorized to use military vehicles to squish things.
It's been too long since I've read Skippy's list.
It's a funny list.
Yeah, do yourself a favor if you haven't checked it out in the years that it's been up. Go on Google and look up Skippy's list. It's a list of 212 things Skippy is no longer allowed to do in the U.S. Army, and you will laugh your ass off while you're reading it. Trust me on that. I've done it multiple times. I've read through it multiple times at this point.
Oh, speaking of Minecraft, sorry for this. Okay, you know if lightning strikes a pig, it spawns a pigman?
I didn't know.
Or zombie pigman, I mean.
I wasn't 100% sure there even was for lightning. I thought it might have been hallucinating that.
No, there is. It can actually strike things, including you.
I got struck when I was first playing it. And I wasn't absolutely sure what happened. It was on my one-player game. I was trying to make a bridge across a lagoon. And it was pouring down rain, and then it didn't sound like lightning, because it was just, and,
lightning doesn't really have a sound.
And, I was laying, like, face down in the water under the bridge, and it said, "You have died," and I was like, "What?" And I figured, I was like, "What happened? I think Ian was over, what just killed you?" And I was like,
he got thunderstruck.
I think I just got struck by lightning.
Because I found out also, lightning can strike a creeper. Guess what happens if that happens?
It explodes?
It becomes much more powerful when it explodes. It's called a charged creeper. It has a blue and glow aura, like, flying around it. And if it touches you, the explosion is massive.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's basically, close to instant death. Once you're like in water.
Oh no.
But anyway, like the chances of ever coming across, because basically
you just like get blown up and then like you come back and your fucking house is gone.
Apparently lightning will will strike a few creepers based on how many chunks are around, assuming there's creepers out at the time. But you would have to find them decently quick before they would despawn. And
it'd be something to try on super flat mode.
But it would be cool if you could like encase it and keep it as a trophy.
Super flat mode? What is that, like Oklahoma mode?
Yeah.
So like nothing, just flat hills, flat
you can only do
plains.
You can only do it in creative mode, and yet it's just a perfectly flat plain of grass as far as the eye can see. And the bedrock, i.e. the bottom of the world, is only like 4 blocks below you.
So Oklahoma.
Yeah, space.
dude. Oklahoma is so fucking flat. There's this one road that we always drive down when we went up to our grandparents' house that live up in Oklahoma. And this road is like 1.5 miles long. And it's so flat, this road, that you are at the beginning of it and you can see the stop sign down at the other end 1.5 miles away. That's how flat Oklahoma is.
Good story, bro.
That's like saying the curvature, like literally, it's so flat, like it's breaking the curvature of the Earth.
Kind of. Yeah, that's Oklahoma for you.
Follow the curvature of the Earth.
Oklahoma's like, screw you, Earth.
The landing strip that what was it called? The Columbia Space Shuttle?
Space
Shuttle, yeah, I went there. That they used to land on. The landing strip was so flat. It was like a 7-mile landing strip, and it only varied by like 1/10 of an inch, like the whole way. And they actually did have to build it to bend to the curvature of the Earth.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're 57 minutes in. You guys want to sign off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick, and God, I have to pee. With me this week was Gameface. Say goodbye, Gameface.
Scuba.
Also with me this week was Slackerchan. Say goodbye, Slackerchan.
What the?
We will talk.
Creepers!
And we will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.